Today on BKTV News, we have an exclusive look with YouTuber Elle Mills, where we turn back the clock with Remember When and also have a new Mix It Up.
Along with those will be a segment called Then and Now. All that coming up right here on BKTV News.
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Today is Thursday, January 14th, 2021. Hello and welcome to BKTV News. I'm Jackson Umfleet.
And I'm Garrett Sheets, and this is BKTV News Live.
This is the first episode of the new year, so happy late New Year's to everybody.
Yes, and we hope everyone got to celebrate the new year in a safe and fun environment.
A lot has happened since the start of the new year, both good and bad, but we hope you have all started to get back into the swing of things here at FHS. Remember that masks are required for the time being, so please remember to wear it and socially distance as much as possible.
With all that being said, let's get straight into the news. Coming up first is Remember When, brought to you by none other than the man sitting right next to me, Jackson Umfleet.
Remember when all the cool kids in elementary school wore silly bands? Bet you haven't heard that name in a while. Silly bands, created by Robert Perot, hit the shelves in 2009, and to the rise of the new decade, silly bands became a huge hit with young kids, and became so popular that schools were banning them because they became such a distraction. Shortly after that, in 2011, a different type of armband accessory took the spotlight. Rainbow Loom, a plastic tool used to weave colorful rubber band and plastic bands into decorative armbands, took the young audience by storm. What made these exceptionally popular was their creativity that kids could now express through bracelets. Although loom bracelets were already a popular accessory and had already existed for years now, they were normally made of string. Rainbow Loom, however, used rubber and plastic to create more sturdy and durable items. And for all you athletes out there, do you remember titanium necklaces or fighting necklaces? From 2008 to 2011, these little doodads claimed to enhance your performance by hacking the chemical elements of your body's energy balance. They can also improve your flexibility, calm your mind, and help your joints. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's just say these relics have been buried in our memory for ages, and let's be honest, it's pretty nice every once in a while when we can just look back at something and just say, remember when?
Dude, I remember those silly bands. I had like a ton of them.
Yeah, those were the good old days, weren't they?
You know it. Now, let's transition into our next show in the lineup.
What is that?
Mix It Up. This time, Caden Foster, Nate Ballou, and Mark Southern will be trying a new recipe called a Fool's Gold Loaf Sandwich, made famous by Elvis Presley. The sandwich consists of 1 pound of peanut butter, a pound of jelly, a pound of bacon on a 1 pound sourdough loaf.
That's a whole lot of sandwich.
It's a lot of heart attack to me. So, let's get right over to Mix It Up.
Welcome back to Mix It Up! I'm Katie. I'm Nate.
I'm Mark. Mix It Up is a show where we'll be trying weird food combinations that people try around the world, and we'll be trying them ourselves.
They will be trying the Fool's Gold Loaf. The sandwich became popular when one night rock and roll Hall of Famer Elvis was craving an 8,000 calorie sandwich, which consists of a hollowed out bread loaf that has a full jar of peanut butter and jelly in it and a pound of bacon.
What's your favorite sandwich?
Turkey, on provolone,
Philly cheesesteak,
bologna.
Turkey.
The ingredients you'll need to make the sandwich are 1 French bread loaf, 1 jar of peanut butter, 1 jar of jelly, and a pound of bacon. Now we will be trying the sandwich. 3, 2, 1, go. Which one was?
Alright, I think I'll be rating this a 4 out of 5. I quite enjoyed it. I don't think it's worth the hassle of what we took.
I'm gonna rate this a 3.5. It's a lot to take in, and it takes quite a lot of effort to make.
I'm gonna give it a 4.3 because it is very tasty, but all the ingredients and the pain of making it makes it not as enjoyable as I would like it.
That's all the time we have for today's episode.
I'm Caden.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Mark.
And this has been Mix It Up! And we hope to see you next time.
It had the name Elvis on it, so I was interested to see what it was all about.
And now we know. Up next is Then and Now with Jackson Beers. This segment is going to be about the history of the film industry and where it's going today.
Sounds interesting. Jackson, take it away.
Okay, so the history of the film industry.
No, not you, Jackson. Other Jackson.
Oh, my bad. It gets confusing sometimes because, we're both named...
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson.
No.
You're right, though. We're both named Jackson.
I know that. I'm trying to say Jackson. It's time to send it over to Jackson.
So me?
No!
The film industry has changed a lot over the years, with what once used to be a slideshow of music being played live in the background has since evolved into being able to watch movies with the device in your pocket. I'm Jackson Beers, and today I'm going to be covering the film industry, then and now. Back in 1891, the Edison Company created a device known as the kinetoscope. The device allowed people to peer in a glass at the top and view moving pictures. This method only allowed one person at a time and was a huge commercial success. People became interested in these moving pictures, and it opened up a whole new method of entertainment. Then, in 1985, a group known as the Lumiere Brothers became the first to project a film using their device known as the cinematograph. This machine actually worked like a camera and a projector at the same time, able to capture film and play it for people to see. Most films at this time were very short, accompanied by things such as live performances of music and even public speaking. As time went on, they eventually added things like color, sound, and even more people were able to actually publicly view it in movie theaters. Movie theaters could hold many more people and were entertaining for the masses. Movie theaters, or cinemas, had a huge rise in the 30s and 40s. These helped introduce what is known as the golden age of Hollywood, with most being black and white films, then a surge of color ones. Drive-ins also became popular, where you could pull your car into a lot and watch movies be projected on a huge screen. Television also soon followed suit and ended up having a similar upbringing. With television came VHS, then DVDs. Then it led to movie rental companies like Blockbuster and Netflix, back when it was just a DVD rental service. Eventually, we get to where we are now, with streaming services like Netflix, Disney Plus, and Hulu being able to be almost streamed from any device and almost anywhere. These services, with Netflix paving the way, began to take attention from movie theaters as a whole. It was a lot easier for family movie night to be played at home on the couch than having to pay money for gas, snacks, and the movie itself at a theater. Cinemas have also seen a huge decline recently due to COVID-19, but are still kicking, and a lot of them have recently reopened. As it stands, this is as far as we've come. Who knows what the future holds for the film industry and what many new marvels will come with it. I'm Jackson Beers, thank you for watching, and this has been Then and Now.
You see, Garrett, that was the Jackson you were supposed to send us over to. You got so confused. Anyway, it's time for the last spot of the evening. To finish this episode of BKTV News is Gage Hinson, Colin Roth, and Trent Galzinski, who sat down with YouTuber Elle Mills for this in-depth interview. Elle Mills has currently amassed 1.84 million subscribers on YouTube with her channel, Ella the Mills. She was kind enough to have an interview with Gage, Colin, and Trent for this spot on BKTV News. Let's see how it went.
Hi, I'm Gage Hinson.
And I'm Trent Galzinski, reporting for BKTV News.
Recently, we had the great opportunity to interview a YouTuber that has amassed over 1.8 million subscribers.
She has been making videos on YouTube for over 8 years.
Colin Roth will be conducting the interview.
And joining us from LA via Google Meet, Elle Mills.
First off, what inspired you to become a YouTuber?
I was a huge YouTube fan growing up. So I had been watching YouTube since I was 12 years old, and I had been making videos with my friends and family throughout middle school and high school. And so when I graduated high school and was going into university, I was kind of like, okay, my dream job would be, making content online and having an audience watching it. And so I really committed to that and posted weekly. And surely enough, it all kind of snowballed into being my full-time job.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about the biggest thing that a lot of people think YouTubers are like, but maybe is a problem or something they have to go through?
Yeah, I definitely think it could appear easier than it is, but not to say that it isn't. It's not the hardest job in the world, but also there are a lot of like things that come with being a YouTube personality that a lot of people may not be a fan of. I think there's a lack of privacy sometimes, especially the bigger you get. I think you're putting yourself out there, so you have to have thick skin and be open to criticism and even about the smallest things. Um, and even if everyone in your life disagrees with that person, you know what I mean? Like seeing that one hate comment really gets to you, and when it becomes thousands of hate comments, it could really have a effect on your mental health. So I'd say that for sure.
How do you think your like content has evolved over the years with how YouTube's progressed and new viewers and all that?
Yeah, I'd say I definitely have had lots of shifts in my content. I started out making trailer edit videos, so I would do genre swap trailers, and then from there I started doing little comedy videos, and then from there I've kind of do what I do now, which is kind of this cross between teen movie and YouTube vlog. Um, I feel like this reference is outdated, but in case anyone has seen it, I usually say, imagine if Ferris Bueller had a YouTube channel, and if you haven't watched Ferris Bueller, definitely go watch Ferris Bueller.
How do you think you deal with problems like demonetization, YouTube strikes, things like
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd say for the first year or two on YouTube, I wasn't making any money. It was very much a passion for me, and I had the mentality that if I kept on doing it, that money would come. And I will say that is not usually how people do it. I used to use copyrighted music in all my videos, and so I make a majority of my money through brand deals and sponsorships. I'd say the majority of people, like all my YouTube friends, make it through AdSense. And that's just like I'm not too familiar about how like the system of which like monetization works, but so yeah, I do brand deals and I do a lot of side projects. So like I do a lot of like hosting things. Like I've hosted like unscripted shows for Nickelodeon, MTV, kind of like that realm.
what would be your general advice for someone starting YouTube? Something that's a good thing to know.
I think know that it's not going to be right away and it's not going to be easy. I think having that expectation in mind is like important because I feel like people usually expect after 5 to 10 videos that it's going to have blown up or it's going to have uh, they have this certain expectation for where they would be at by then. But I think have zero expectations and just consistently post. I think consistency is super important, especially when you're first starting out. And I think always pushing yourself to play the game if that's what you want to do, but also if it's more of a passion for you, um, think outside the box, get creative with it. You know, have fun with it is probably the most important part. Because I think people can tell if you're being genuine, and if you're really passionate about the videos you're making. You can find me on youtube.com/lofthemills, and then I have a second channel called youtube.com/lifeofthemills.
So Trent, what makes a successful YouTube career?
Perseverance, dedication, and most of all, you have to enjoy making your content.
Well, I'd like to say thanks to Elle Mills again for doing this interview. Go show her some love on her channel.
Wow, that was awesome. On behalf of BKTV Studios, we would like to thank Elle Mills for giving us some time out of her day for this interview and giving us some insight on what it's like to be a successful YouTuber.
That is all for this episode of BKTV News.
We here at BKTV Studios would like to thank everyone who watched this and had a hand in making this episode, as well as wish you all a Happy New Year. We hope this year will be better than last year.
That's right. Thank you all for watching. My name is Jackson Umfleet.
My name is Garrett Sheets. We will see you on the next BKTV News.
Let's